What's going on, everybody? This is Sean of Raw Select Music, and it's that time again. I haven't really been sitting down with one record enough to really sort of parse out my thoughts and opinions on it and do a record review for it. But I did just buy a shit ton of records, so let's just talk about these. First off, I want to talk about some Japanese hip-hop. I picked up this single I've been eyeballing for a while, which is 7 Ink Tree Dog Ear Records. I've been looking at this record for a while. I originally was going to buy it a while ago, but I saw that a used copy of it came up, and that immediately made me want to get it. I'm not so much a fan of Japanese rap. I think it kind of sucks, but Japanese beat makers are fucking awesome, and this beat on the Air K16 Flip remix was so good that I knew that I should pick this guy up, and I'm really looking forward to putting this into my sets. And then the second record from my ever-growing Japanese hip-hop collection is Yotaro's Mezzanine, released on Jazzy Sport. This record was supposed to come out, I think, in February, and it kept getting pushed back for whatever reason. It was probably a pressing issue. And I got to know about Yotaro through his guest or featured or whatever production on another Japanese 7-inch, Japanese hip-hop 7-inch that I had picked up. And I'm really looking forward to listening to this. I've heard one track on it. It's pretty mellow, but I don't know what else to say about it other than it just sounds like some really good, mellow, instrumental Japanese hip-hop. So, looking forward to digging into this. Now, it wouldn't be a normal round of ordering records if I didn't pick up some Funk 45 Funk 45 7-inches. And I think I got some real good ones this time around. This one is Leaf Food Stamps, which is a bit rockier than the stuff that I usually like, but it has a crazy drum break on it. And listening to the preview of this track on Jet Set Radio, Jesus Christ. Anybody remember Jet Set Radio? That's a great game. On Jet Set Records' website, this was a little bit slower and had some hard drums. Seemed like the sort of thing that was right up my alley. And I think it was pretty cheap, so couldn't pass up on this one. Then the next one had been sold out for a while. I think this is a UK group. They just put out an album recently. That's The Expansions. And they seem like a more fun version of Bad Bad Not Good. Bad Bad Not Good generally being a little bit moodier and seemingly a little bit more serious, although they do have their playful moments. This is just like some really fun jazz funk, and I'm really happy to have this in my collection because this guy was sold out on Jet Set Records for the longest time. And then this one, I really don't know that much about. All I know is this is the store listing copy, and it was grossly marked down. And usually when I do an order, I try to keep it to about $100. And I was like, I'm just teetering on the edge of $100, so I just grabbed this one. It's probably some good funk and soul. I'll probably check it out a little bit later. But yeah, this is my funk soul 7 inches for this round. Now let's get into some of the other stuff that I picked up. Now, a little while back at a local record store, I stumbled across a copy of the Q-Tip amplified instrumentals, and the main reason that I picked this guy up in the first place is I know Jay Dilla did a lot of production on this album, and I really do feel like this is some of Jay Dilla's most club-friendly, upbeat, straightforward beats that he's ever done. And I like the abstract shit. I like his early stuff. I like his later stuff as well. And this is some of my favorite production from Jay Dilla. But I did feel like it was missing the vocals. So when I was stumbling through Jet Set Records' used records section, I came across a copy of amplified, the regular version, and it was super cheap. I think I only paid like 1,300 yen for it, so about 13 bucks. And I'm really interested to hear the vocals on this, because I'm not really that familiar with this album other than Let's Ride and Breathe and Stop, and I'm a huge fan of Let's Ride. And Breathe and Stop was a track that I hated growing up, but has grown on me over the years. So I'm really looking forward to hearing this album in its entirety. It should be interesting. And at the end of the day, for 13 bucks to finally have a copy of Let's Ride, which I've wanted for eons, especially after a friend of mine sort of brandished it in my face at a DJ event. So now I've got my own copy of this album to go along with the instrumental, so it's kind of like having the single and the album copy at the same time, or some shit like that. Out of all the albums that I've picked up recently, this is the one that I know the least about, and that is Beat Tape 2 by Tom Misch. I've been seeing this name thrown around a lot recently. It really seems like he's become something of a darling in the underground music scene. And I checked out a little bit of his most recent album and was sort of on it, but I heard a few snippets from this and I thought maybe I should give this a chance. And it seems like it's a pretty wide-ranging, slightly hip-hop beats with some dance music, some live instrumentation. I think it should be interesting, and I don't know, maybe it'll end up selling me on Tom Misch in the future. But yeah, this is definitely the one album that I know next to nothing about. And for whatever reason, it seems like 2018 has become the year that jazz makes a comeback. From the expansions that I just talked about to, let's see, Kamal Williams, which was formerly Yusef Kamal. He's got an album coming out. Kamisai Washington has an album coming out. It really seems like jazz is in something of a period of rejuvenation for whatever reason. I'm totally okay with that because I love jazz. And one label that I've always sort of strayed away from for the longest time because my image of them was that they just made jazz light music. Not light jazz, but jazz light. I don't really know how to explain how the two are different. But they are different, god damn it. At any rate, after listening to the Yusef Kamal album, Brownswood Recordings has been on my radar. And one album that I checked out on a whim, one, because I really like the cover of it, and thought, well, if the Yusef Kamal album was pretty good, I imagine this one's going to be pretty good too. And that's Joe Armand Jones, starting today. One of, I think, 3 releases that I've bought recently that came out in 2018. I've been sort of slow to get on the 2018 music train this year. But hopefully those will start the waterfall going, because 2018 seems like it's going to be an absolutely insane year for music. But anyways, in terms of this record, I don't really know that much about it, other than it's got some jazz vibes to it. It's got some electronic music vibes to it. There's a little bit of dance music, seemingly infused into the sound. And I'm liking what I heard from it. Only the title track I know really all that well. And I'm sort of waiting to dig into it and really... I don't want to preview too much of this record. Usually when I buy an album, I try not to do too much research about it because I like to go in as blind as possible. But from what I heard from the title track starting today, this album was pretty intriguing to me, and I'm really curious to find out what else is on it. As far as I can tell, it seems like it's a pretty solid album. It might actually become one of my favorites of this year. So who knows? And then last but not least, I finally picked it up. I've been waiting for this record for a while. It's now in my possession. And that is Stimulator Jones' Exotic Worlds and Masterful Treasures. I was really excited about this record after I had heard Soon Never Comes, which was on that really, really uneven SOS compilation that came out 2 years ago. That was the biggest highlight track from that album. And I haven't sat down and listened to this record all the way through yet. There are definitely some surprising moments on it. And to describe the sound of it, think For the Lover in You. It's a Quiet Storm track from Shalimar, and I love that track. And the vocals heavily remind me of it. The mood of the tracks heavily remind me of it. It's sort of like somewhere between Tuxedo and Damn Funk, as it definitely has something of an 80s vibe to it. And there's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek vibe to it, but not as overboard and overblown as, say, like a Chromeo. I don't like Chromeo. And I'm really looking forward to getting into this earnest, sort of cheeky, amusing release from Stones Throw. This might be one of my favorite Stones Throw releases in a while, and this will probably end up on my favorite records of 2018. So that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize. I know I haven't done a Raw Select record review in a while. That's largely just been because my brain has been sort of all over the place. I haven't really been focused on one particular album for a while now. But I should start getting back into the Raw Select record review mood in some future videos. And then, if you didn't check it out, head over to my Mixcloud. I posted the latest Raw Select Radio, which is number 7. And it's also available over at my SoundCloud, which I will leave up until I do the next one. And then the episode number 7 won't be available anymore. So grab it while you can so you can get an MP3 of it and listen to it at your own leisure without having to worry about your own data. So that's going to be it. Thanks as always for watching. Go into the description, head over to my WordPress or Steam it, because that's where I'll be posting music links so you can check them out for yourself. And yeah, that's going to be it. I know I've said that multiple times already. I don't care. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Peace out!